What's up guys, this is Chronic Rush and welcome to the second episode of my FIFA 14 World Cup squad builders. Be sure to go check out the last episode where I built the World Cup squad of Cameroon. Some very interesting players on there. Also had some goals and some decent gameplay at the end. So be sure to check the whole video there guys. But today we're going to be going out to build the World Cup squad builder for Australia, which is a nation in Group B of the World Cup there. Got a fairly hard group and Australia probably one of the, underdogs of the group to go and qualify. But their squad on FIFA 14, not the strongest. There's a couple of goal players. I believe there's two, including Mark Schwartz, who no longer actually plays for Australia internationally. But I'm going to go and build the one of the best squads you can go and play with Australia on this game. And we're going to start off with the formation, which is the 4-1-4-1 formation. Brand new formation in FIFA 14. I feel it's very decent indeed. It's one of my preferred formations. I think all the formations with quite a few players in the middle and also a CDM works fantastically well in FIFA 14. But let's get straight into some of the players. And in goal here, we're going to have a silver player. Let me quickly swap out the nationality to Australia to make it a bit more simple here. Let's quickly there, just whiz past it. But in goal, we're going to have a silver keeper, and that is Federici, the Reading keeper here. Very nice stats across the board. His handling is probably the lowest, got 269 rated, 74 diving and 74 reflexes, and he seemed fairly solid in goal. There's no downsides of him other than I think there's one chance that he probably could have saved, but you can't do that. Maybe another keeper could have saved it, may have not, but he was still a fairly solid silver keeper there. Moving on to the right back here, we're going to have another player, silver player, and that is Wilkshire. Plays for Dynamo Moscow in the Russian league here. 72 rated, he's got 82 pace, 68 defending, 66 heading, and just stats across the board. His pace is the highest of 82. The rest of his stats are high, just 60s and 70s. So he hasn't got one low stat for a silver right back. And this guy is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy playing with him. He is attacking, helping in the support, and very defensive as well. Moving on to the two centre-backs, first player we're going to have here is the Middlesbrough Williams, and we're going to be joined with this player here, Sainsbury. Williams plays for Middlesbrough in the Championship, he's got 69 pace, 71 rated overall, 73 defending, 70 heading. He just did the job at the back, as well as Sainsbury here. Went for a bit more pace of 74 pace. I believe he's one of the fastest Australian centre-backs here. And 69 defending, 69 heading. Again, it did the job right at the back, getting those headers and also having a decent amount of pace at the back in average to just keep up with the fast players on the squad. I did feel a bit lacking compared to the Cameroon squad, but it still seemed fairly solid. Moving on to the left back, we've got a first blonde player under the name of Zulu. Plays in the A-League, the Australian League. This guy, 82 pace, 64 rated left back, and I didn't tell he was a bronze player whatsoever. Just seemed to be fairly solid, always there to make the challenges. Didn't get too forward, but it's not too bad. He does have the high attacking work rate, but I never saw him too far up the pitch, which is fairly nice indeed. Moving on to the CDM here, we've got 72 rated Jedniak, plays for Crystal Palace, BPL player. This guy, stats across the board, as you can see there. Dribbling is his only low one, defending is his highest one, and that just works perfectly there. 60 pace, so he's not the fastest, but he's got medium attacking and medium defensive work rate, so that works perfectly for that CDM spot, especially when sitting in front of those two players there at the back. I feel that works exceptionally well indeed. Moving on to the right hand side here, we've got one of the best players of the squad. We've got I think it's Cruz here, Robbie Cruz, plays for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. There's also an informed version of him on the left hand side of the pitch there, but used his normal card here. Didn't have much coins to afford for his informed, but his normal card was outstanding, so I'm guessing his informed card is going to be unbelievably good. He's got 84 pace, decent shoot, decent dribbling. I believe he's got I'm not too sure how many skill moves, but he seems to be throwing out the skills through. I think it is 4-star skill moves there, 2-star weak through, and he again very good out on that right hand side, and I'm guessing his informed card would be absolutely amazing. Moving on to the left hand side, we've got another player who plays in the German leagues. It is Lecky. I believe he plays in the second Bundesliga there. 90 pace there, and 67 rated overall. Not the highest rated left wing on, I believe, for Australia. One of the solid ones. I just went for a bit more pace there, and he seemed to do the job out on that left hand side, picking up some goals as well. Moving into the middle here, the first player we're going to have here is McKay. And the other player we're going to have here is Cahill. McKay, we're going to start off with silver player, 70 rated, and again, stats just across the board. Little bit of pace, shooting is not too high, but I thought he had some fairly decent shots throughout the time I was playing with him, so I thought he's a fairly solid centre mid there, and his pace seemed a bit faster. Moving on to Cahill, the gold player in this squad, and I was expecting quite a bit from him. I'm not too sure why. His pace is obviously his low stat, but the rest of his stats are in the 70s, and his heading is unbelievable at 89. But I was expecting more headers maybe. He just didn't seem to be performing too well, and I preferred McKay over Cahill all day. Cahill just didn't seem to be there. I didn't really like playing with him too much. Moving on to the final player of the squad up front. There's various different options. At first, I was going to go for a player who called Thompson, silver player, but there was none on the market at the time of doing this squad, and I went out and picked up Mitchell Duke. And my God, this guy was absolutely outstanding. 63 rated strike here, 84 pace, 61 shooting, 70 heading, 64 dribbling. He had 80 strength, I think it is. This guy up front was unbelievably solid. You'll see some in some of the goals. His shooting was outstanding, and I definitely recommend this guy. An absolute bronze beast there up front. But overall, this squad, obviously not going to be the most competitive squad, but I seem to do fairly well online. I think it's mainly due to the formation, and you can just pick any of the players. Cahill was probably the weakest link in the squad, even though he is the goal player. I just didn't feel he was beneficial to the squad whatsoever. He just felt slow, didn't seem to just every touch. He did make some goals, did make some nice assists, but overall I didn't think he was the strongest player. The defence was okay. Some of it I found that I lacked in coming up against good, strong heading players from crosses and stuff like that. That's where I conceded most of my goals. But overall, this team seemed fairly solid, so we're going to be moving on to the goals. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Okay guys, so now time for some of the goals I scored with this Australian World Cup squad. Overall, I didn't think I'd score too many goals, but as you can see there, Mitchell Duke, the bronze striker, goes out and pulls a phenomenal finesse shot. And I think I wasn't expecting too many goals, mainly because I had that bronze striker. Unlike other teams, you got like Eto up front. I was like, yeah, that's going to be a goal frenzy. But Mitchell Duke came up to the challenge and was scoring absolutely loads. Absolutely fantastic striker. Definitely recommend him for a bronze player. And I'm not too sure how old he actually is, but maybe you could get a bit better card later on in the FIFA series. But overall, I'll just have a quick talk about the squad. The defence wasn't too bad. As you can see here, Wiltshire here doing some nice attacking work. The right back find a path into the one-man Duke there to go and score another goal. Cahill, I was expecting a bit more from him. He wasn't providing too much attacking support, and that's mainly down to his pace. And I was expecting his heading to be a bit better, as that is a standout stat, but that wasn't too phenomenal either. I think it's Robbie Cruz out on the right. Very, very good silver player, just your standard, fairly solid player. His inform card, I bet, is fairly quality as well. So that's probably one to go for. Moving on to the two centre mids, Jedinak, very, very solid CDM at the back, stopping the balls, getting into the centre backs. Centre backs, like I said, weren't too bad. Right and back and left back weren't too bad, especially that bronze player. He wasn't too bad either. We've got a decent amount of pace at the back, so that's not too bad at all. CDM, Jedinak, like I said, just get the headers, got interceptions and stuff like that, worked the ball from the back, and I believe he also had some attacking threat as well, which you always want a bit from support from your centre back, CDM, sorry. Moving on to the centre mids, I think it was McKay and I think it was Cahill I have. McKay, fairly solid player, scored some good goals, just like shots outside the box, just had decent dribbling, decent pace and stuff like that. Lecky, the left mid player, probably one of the worst players of the squad. It had the pace, but just he just horse touched it everywhere basically. Wasn't the strongest, but Cahill, again, like I said, I was expecting a lot more from him, but I believe McKay would definitely overpowered him, shall I say, in terms of he definitely performed better. As you can see here, McKay getting into the box and scoring another one of those goals. You see quite a few from myself, cutting inside and just getting into the furthest post. But McKay, definitely one of the stronger players in the squad. Mitchell Duke up front, my God, this guy was absolutely phenomenal. Definitely recommend him if you're going to build a bronze squad. Maybe that could get some decent hybrids. I think there's other decent Australian / the Austrian League players that you can go and put in. So definitely recommend those players. But we're coming to the end of the goals, guys. So guys, if you like, remember to like button. Also remember to hit that like button. Also, if you've got any feedback, put that in the comments. Remember to subscribe. Stay tuned to the upcoming squads, guys. This has been Chrono Rush. Till next time, adios.